Happy Independence Day, everyone. I just wanted to make a quick video on some thoughts that I've been having. About a month ago, I made a video about racial collectivism. Again, just some thoughts that were on my mind, and only a few weeks later, the collectivists and cultural Marxists showed their true colors. Never have I seen such unrest in this nation, and for such an ill-defined cause. In my eyes, collectivists with a political agenda were quick to capitalize on a serious topic people are sensitive about, so they could get closer to advancing their agenda. There are loads of people in this country and in this world that I disagree with. There's some sort of beauty to that. I would like to think I and the rest of the people in this country all have one thing in common. We want the same thing. We want liberty and freedom. We've just got different solutions to various problems, and a lot of times we think the problems are different. I reckon the solutions are individualism, small government, and solidarity to God, while they tend to think the solutions are collectivism, big government, and solidarity to man. I only kneel to God. My allegiance is with him, not man. This is because I understand that mankind is imperfect, while God is not. I also believe that God is an individualist like me. The founding fathers understood these things, which is why the country was founded on basic Judeo-Christian values such as the nuclear family, and that the official motto of our nation is, "In God we trust." This is one thing I am incredibly grateful for. The founding fathers understood the limits of the government. They understood that the government couldn't do everything and should remain particularly limited so they wouldn't be a repeat of their tyrannous mother country. The country can't guarantee happiness, but it can and will guarantee your ability to pursue it in whatever way suits your fancy. This is such an incredibly egalitarian purpose, and I am of the opinion that we should refer to this in all political issues. Other values our country was founded upon are likely to be familiar to anyone who has taken a history class. All men are created equal, life, liberty, pursuit of happiness, etc., etc. But have we ever stopped to really apply this to our lives individually? I reckon today may be one of the best days to dedicate to contemplating that. In some countries, you get stoned and thrown off roofs for being gay. In America, you get a whole month dedicated to celebrating gayness. In fact, you can base your entire personality around being gay and get called beautiful and brave for it. The worst thing that'll happen to you is people might call your names on TikTok.
Alright, I'm gonna stop you right there, Walmart, Padme on my dollar.
America continues to be the only country in the world that truly protects freedom of speech. Sure, loads of people in the country would love to see that freedom be taken away, but you don't get jail time and fines for making a funny video on the internet. Other countries give you jail time for telling jokes and singing songs. In America, you can receive both applause and criticism. Speaking of criticism, both historically and in the present day, there are countries where you aren't allowed to speak ill of your leaders. In America, you can say as many vile things about the president as you want, 24/7, and nobody will come to arrest you until you incite violence. In America, we understand that nobody is perfect and thus nobody is exempt from criticism. Over the years, I've come to adore harsh criticism and find myself constantly being entertained and informed by it. Many people, foreign and domestic, hate our country for all of the above reasons and would love to strip us of these freedoms. Today, I'd like to implore you to remember what the flag actually stands for and to consider what you stand for. Growing up, I had tremendous respect for the American flag. Not only did I grow up with a daily reciting of the Pledge of Allegiance and was inspired by the national anthem, but I also had the honor of participating in ceremonies and scouting, both having the privilege of bearing the flag on my uniform and respectfully retiring many hundreds of flags. There is a minority of people who can say they've done these things. These flags had flown for brave men and women in the military, had served for years, and deserved the most reverent of ceremonies to celebrate that. Some of my most solemn memories were when my scoutmaster told us stories about how he had seen the flag unite the most unlikely people and watching each individual flag finally be put at peace. Coming from this perspective, you can probably see why me and other people like me are so disheartened by many of our fellow Americans raucously and outrageously disrespecting the flag. When you stomp on this flag, you are stomping on my freedom. When you burn this flag, you are burning my freedom. I consider this a threat, and I won't tolerate it in my country. Oh sure, it's freedom of expression, and it's more of a symptom of anti-American intent than it is an actual crime that should be punishable by law. No, I don't think you deserve fines or jail time for disrespecting the flag, as Trump or many others may tend to think. I simply believe that if the flag meant to you the same as it means to me, you would be mortified at the mere thought of you, or anyone else, desecrating freedom in that way. The American flag is a sacred emblem of freedom, liberty, justice, and equality. It stands for the people who have fought, bled, and sacrificed for this country, and it stands for me. However, not everyone in America thinks of the flag this way. Indeed, many would like nothing more than to tear it down. People who stand in the way of freedom, patriotism, and equality are not, and never will be my friends. Not every American believes America stands for freedom, and not every American stands for freedom either. Even if you don't think everyone in America has always, is currently, and always will stand for freedom, you can still respect the flag and remember what it was intended to represent. The flag is not only an emblem for Americans, but for lovers of freedom everywhere, and it remains as such to me, even in a time where loving the freedoms granted to you by your country is somehow considered a controversial opinion. It seems to me that the public are more inclined to respond to spectacle than anything with any real meaning. Indeed, as Reinhold Niebuhr has reminded us, groups tend to be more immoral than individuals. They tend to make quite a fuss about a lot of things. White privilege, straight privilege, PS4 privilege. But I think there's only one that truly exists and requires any attention whatsoever, and that's American privilege. Other countries simply don't have the freedoms we hold dear in this country. No other country holds a candle to this one in terms of how protected and respected the individual is. I don't think the anti-American lot realize how privileged they are to be able to say and do such anti-American things with no consequences. They don't realize that even those who hold the most contempt for the country are still protected by its laws, and their human rights are still protected. A word to the wise: don't take away freedoms from others expecting your freedoms to be preserved. It will not profit you in the end. Instead, fight for the freedoms and liberty of all with renewed vigor. It is a privilege and an honor to live in this country and to have been granted the freedoms that I have. I will forever be grateful. I pray that the rest of the country will never think themselves so entitled that they somehow deserve more, or that they deserve to be guaranteed happiness and zero uncomfortability. Long story short, having American privilege is one of the many things that I will never be obliged to apologize for. I am positively horny for the US of A. I have many freedoms that I am incredibly grateful for. They can't take that away from me, and don't you ever stand for someone taking that away from you. Have a wonderful 4th of July. God bless you, and God bless the United States of America. Looking to make some fireworks, big spender? Piss off.